What's good, y'all? I'm back in the Living Dirty shirt. And Raw after Mania had had me very much on the edge of my seat. And not even just on the edge of my seat, I wasn't expecting a lot of it. And we're about to get into it. John Cena comes out, cuts a promo, calling people names, telling them that he has 27 dates left, which is crazy because he only had like 38, 39, and we've already seen him what 11 dates out of this year. So we still have a long time to go. And Cena was pretty much telling people, "Hey, I don't have to wrestle. I just have to show up." That's crazy. That's crazy that he's saying, "Hey, I don't have to do anything. I just have to show up." And then what I knew was going to happen, because Backlash is in St. Louis, Randy Orton hits an RKO on John Cena. Now, did I think Cody was going to come out and apologize to the fans and they were going to get this moment of John Cena criticizing the fans? Or were we going to get John Cena, against somebody else? But I figured it'd be Randy because Backlash is in St. Louis. So it was the only right thing they could do. Then Becky Lynch and Lyra faced off against Liv and Raquel. Now, Liv Morgan and Raquel retained their championships, but with that being said, right, Becky Lynch turns on Lyra. Why couldn't we have Liv and Raquel keep their titles on Mania, and then Becky Lynch attacks Lyra? That would have been my 2 cents. Now, with the whole Bayley attack thing, I don't think it was Liv and Raquel, because we've seen this before where everybody thinks it's Liv and Raquel and they did this and then Becky Lynch just came to save the day. I think one or two things. Becky attacked Lyra. They lost the titles and Becky is mad because they, one, lost their titles. Two, Lyra took the NXT championship from Becky Lynch. Or two, Lyra attacked Bayley, and then Becky Lynch is mad because you attacked her friend. So it can be one or two things. One or two things can go on here. I'm pretty sure it's probably the first one, but we don't know. Maybe there's another part of the storyline that we're just not so sure of. But Becky Lynch turns heel on Lyra after losing the titles to Liv and Raquel, which I would have preferred them to just keep the titles anyway, for the simple fact almost everybody in the Judgment Day has titles besides obviously Carlito. JD just came back tonight. We'll get to that. And Finn, obviously he ain't getting a title no time soon. And then we almost had the New Day versus Alpha Academy for the Raw Tag Team titles. I thought we were actually getting a bunch of title defenses tonight. But then, one of the biggest pops of the night, which I wouldn't even say biggest pop of the night, it was top 4 for me. But I will say, Rusev coming back. I like that Rusev is back in WWE, don't get me wrong. I don't want to take anything away from that. I love seeing the Accolade locked in. But what did he have to do with the tag team division? Why did he come back just to take out Alpha Academy? What does he have to do with Alpha Academy? What is this storyline going to be? Or were they just showcasing Rusev to let people know, hey, he's back? I'm not sure what's going to happen. I really don't want his first storyline to be, hey, you're going after Alpha Academy. But hey, that seems to be the route they're going. But I am very happy that Rusev is back. And Rusev being back is very, very... If you've ever seen Rusev back in the day, you know, coming out in Russian tanks, Rusev, you need to go watch that. Rusev United States Championship run, one of the best United States Championship runs. He beat the likes of Big Show and others. Guys that you would have thought would have taken it off with him, but they were pushing Rusev to be this massive brute with his lovely wife at the time, Lana. But yeah, I'm really confused why they had him attack Alpha Academy when it was a tag team division type thing. Don't really know why they did that. But Rusev is back in WWE, and there's that. Io Sky cuts a promo talking about she's the best and she wants to face the best, and there's nothing more that she would love but to face the best. Who comes out? We last expected this. I don't think nobody could ever have predicted this. Stephanie Vakir comes out, and when she comes out, she says, hey, I want to face the best too. I want to match against you. And here we are. We get Lyra Vakir versus Io Sky. And it was a good match. It was a good match. The fans were into it. They wanted them to wrestle forever. But I'm glad that nobody took the pin, honestly. And it ended in a DQ with Roxanne Perez and Julia both coming out. But then Rhea Ripley comes out. Rhea Ripley comes out and she says, hey, pretty much bodies Julia for a second. Well, no, Roxanne, my bad. She bodies Roxanne, and then she just has a stare down with Julia. Now, Rhea picked up the title and handed it to Io and pretty much said, I'm coming for this title. Please don't give us this again. Please. We've seen this a couple times already. It's fresh after WrestleMania. Io won the title. Give Io a different opponent. Where's Asuka? Where's Kairi Sane? It's the Raw after WrestleMania. You could have had Kairi Sane and Asuka take the titles from Becky Lynch and Lyra. Or you could have had Asuka come back, and Asuka could have either A, went after Io, or B, she could be inserted into this Intercontinental Championship way. Or you could say the same for Kairi Sane. But instead, no, that's not what we got. It seems like they might do another Rhea Io, speculation. And I'm not cool with that. Jey Uso has a promo where he comes out and yeets for a while. Then he gives a promo. Sami Zayn comes out, congratulates him. They yeet. And then Jimmy Uso comes out and Jimmy Uso yeets. And it's pretty much just a celebratory thing for Jay. Nothing too crazy. I really thought we would get a heel turn here. I thought either Jimmy would take out Jay or Sami Zayn would take out Jay. Who knows where this is going to go? Don't get me wrong, I like Jay. I just really hope and wish that there was some form of a heel turn, but I think they're saving it. We had Karrion Kross and AJ Styles have a promo. Pretty much Kross was telling him, I told you to do it. I told you. I tried to get you to do it, but you didn't do it. And AJ Styles was like, why do you want me to be this bad guy so bad? What is your obsession with this? Why do you want me to embrace my heel side, the evil side of me? Well, he pretty much told Karrion Kross to just do it yourself. And then Kross was like, yeah, maybe I will. Now, everybody and their mama saw when Karrion Kross came on that screen, he got a huge pop. A pop that we haven't seen him have in a while. Karrion Kross needs more TV time. He needs more matches. He needs to be out there cutting promos instead of just in the back cutting promos. I think people want to see him out there in the ring. And then we get this little nugget where Gunther comes out and he's yelling at Michael Cole, pretty much saying, hey, why are you being impartial? Why are you doing this? And then he tries to put his hands on Michael Cole. Pat McAfee steps up, gets pushed. Michael Cole gets into a chokehold. Pat McAfee saves him. Pat McAfee ends up getting choked out. Astronomically. Now, Pat McAfee did a good job selling it. He did a great job selling that chokehold and stuff. And I don't know if you guys seen, but a fan jumped over the barricade too. So they not only did they have to stick with the script and stuff, but a fan jumped the barricade. How stupid do you gotta be? Now, before I even throw that out there, I don't know if this was like a Shawn Michaels situation where, if you guys don't know, back in like the 90s, I believe, a kid with autism jumped the barricade, and Shawn Michaels, before security could even hop all over him, he realized, grabbed the kid, took the kid back to their mom. But if this was just a regular fan, stupid. It was stupid. And then we had the GOAT, the legend, the guy carrying on the Guerrero and the Mysterio name, Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio defends his Intercontinental Championship against Penta. Now, with that being said, I was not expecting a JD McDonough return, but JD McDonough returns, helps Dom win the Intercontinental Championship match, and the Judgment Day all celebrate. But if you guys realize, at the end, Finn wasn't up close with everybody. It wasn't until either Carlito or JD McDonough grabs him, pulls him in, and then pretty much is like, hey, come celebrate with us. I can't wait for this heel turn. Well, I don't really know if it's a heel turn because they're already supposed to be heels, but I can't wait for either Finn to turn on Dom or the entire Judgment Day to kick Finn out. I don't know which one I would prefer. I think I'd probably prefer Finn to turn on the Judgment Day and then pretty much say that they were all holding him back. And then we get this big Finn Balor push. I am one of the Finn Balor fans that want him to genuinely get pushed. But with how Raw ended, I don't think that's going to happen. But Dom retains, JD McDonough's back. And then the main event. The main event. We get Seth, we get Paul out there. And as they're talking, we're thinking, hey, it's over. Oh, it's about to go off. Punk comes out. Punk wants to fight. Gets his head stomped in. I thought it was over right there. I didn't think we were going to get Roman. Roman then comes out. Roman takes care of Seth. Superman punches Paul. And right as he's about to Superman punch Paul, well, right before he's about to spear him, let me say that, he gets speared by Braun Breaker. I'm sorry, what? And it seems like we have this new faction of Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins. I want y'all to know I'm a big fan of all three of them. My issue with this is, why is Rollins getting all the love, right? Like, he won at Mania, he took the wise man, and now he's standing tall over everybody. I wanted to see Roman crash out. If you guys were there from 2020 to 2024 before Roman lost the belt, Roman was unstoppable. But now Roman just looks like a tribal chief that's not really a tribal chief anymore. And Punk, I love Punk. Punk took one stomp and it was over. Meanwhile, Roman took a spear from Braun Breaker and still tried to fight for a second before he got plummeted through the barricade. But we have this new faction with Seth, Braun, and Heyman. And now I want to see where this faction goes. And I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on something that they should do later on. I might do it tomorrow. And I had already thought about this. But let me know what y'all think about Monday Night Raw. I think Monday Night Raw was great. There were some twists, there were some turns. Becky turning on Lyra was good. JD McDonough's return, Rusev returning, which I already kind of expected. But Braun Breaker joining that faction was a great way to end Monday Night Raw because nobody seen it coming. I thought Braun Breaker was still going to be in the Intercontinental Championship, like, fray whatsoever. But now they're pushing him to the moon. They're giving him the Paul Heyman rub. And I don't know if everybody pays attention to Paul Heyman. Everybody that Paul Heyman is with wins world championships. Rob Van Dam, not Braun Breaker. Rob Van Dam, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar. All WWE champions. Now here's my issue. If Cena's not losing the belt anytime soon, if Rollins and Braun Breaker are going to go after any title, is it going to be Jay's? And even if they do, who's going to win it? I feel like this is going to cause friction between them, and I want to see a Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins feud. But we'll get there when we get there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what y'all think about Monday Night Raw, and I will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.